that orientation's next week already, that we get to meet all of you next week, which is super exciting. Some of you might already be here. Some of you might still be home, flying to us soon. So anyway, it's great to be virtually with you, but in person pretty soon.
Thank you, Paulina. I think we're live on YouTube now. So, hi everybody. My name is PJ. Thank you for introducing yourself, Paulina. I just joined yesterday. I used to work for the Carney International Center as a graduate student, and I just officially started as a full-time staff. So I just started as a role, assistant director for strategic communications and recruitment. So I'm still kind of learning the ropes here, but I was a student here at Minnesota State Mankato and I just graduated. So I've been here for a while now. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us here today. And like Paulina said, I'm sure some of you guys are already here. Some of you guys are planning your trip and everything, and we're very excited to meet you next week. There's a lot in the works, and I am very excited to meet you guys in person and get to know you all. So, Paulina, you can take it away.
Yeah, so today we're gonna just do kind of an orientation overview of what you can expect next week when you join us for our orientation week. If you have questions as we go along, just put them in the chat, and we'll try to answer them as we keep moving. So anyway. So of course, orientation is August 19th through August 23rd. So that's next Monday through the following Friday. So Monday through Friday, it is mandatory for you to be here. We have lots of good sessions that really are gonna get you with the right foot starting your semester. So it will be really important that you attend all of these sessions, and not just attend, but really try to engage, pay attention, ask questions. So you really have a great start to your first semester at MSU. So with that being said, let's review the orientation schedule together. You should all actually have a copy of this schedule. If I'm going to share my screen, so you can see what you should be seeing in your international portal. I assume you are all familiar with your portal, right? So anyway, this is if you log into your portal, the first thing that you will see are your orientation updates. So it is very important that you look at all of this information carefully. I know it's a lot, but everything here is really important. So let's go through it together. That way, if there are questions now, we can answer them. But just kind of hold off until we go through everything, because maybe some of your questions will be answered as we keep going over this, okay? So again, important dates, August 19th through the 23rd. Certainly different things that you need to prepare before you make your way to Mankato. I really hope that all of you already have your housing set up before you arrive. There's different options for housing. I think you guys perhaps attended one of our webinars on housing, but there's the on campus, off campus. Another really important piece is how to get to Mankato. From the airport, if you will be flying into the Minneapolis-St. Paul airport, there is a pretty convenient transportation to our campus, and that is with Land to Air. It's Land to Air Express. It's not really linked to the university, but nonetheless, they tend to transport lots of people from the airport back to Mankato and from Mankato to the airport. Their website is right here, and it has all of the schedules, the cost, etc. We did create a video that you can watch here on how to find the shuttle once you arrive at the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. One of our staff, Beth, kind of walks you through once you arrive, how to find Lanta Air. Once you get on Lanta Air, it will bring you straight to our campus. And then from here, then you can either, stay on campus because you are living on campus, or you can then use our welcome drivers to help you get to your off-campus apartment. Something important that you want to make sure that you bring to orientation with you is to bring all of your immunization records. This is going to be essentially a record of all of the vaccines that you have received at home, including the ones that are listed here: diphtheria, tetanus, measles, mumps, and rubella. Okay. If you are lacking one of these, you will then likely receive it at Student Health Services, but make sure that you gather all of your records and you bring them with you to orientation, okay? Another thing that you will need for orientation is gonna be your cell phone or a laptop in order to be able to connect to the Wi-Fi, okay? We will have SIM cards available for you through Mint Mobile. If you want to learn more about Mint Mobile, this is their website, but we will have some available free of charge to you if you need one when you get here. Again, our campus does have Wi-Fi. It's called EduRoam, and once you arrive, we will also show you how to connect to EduRoam. But just be aware that you will need some sort of cell phone, a smartphone, a laptop in order to go through all of the steps of orientation when you get here. So very important that you have that with you during that orientation week, and of course for your school, your semester at MSU Mankato. Okay. Also making payments to MSU Mankato. All of the information on Flywire is here. As a quick reminder, it is mandatory that you pay for your health insurance. The premium for this academic year, so for fall through the end of summer, it's going to be $2,354. Okay, so it goes August through August 2024 to August 2025. If you do not make your health insurance payment, you will not be able to register for classes when you arrive. So it is very important that you are planning on making that payment when you arrive next week. Okay. Again, we do have some more links here. There were previous webinars on tuition, insurance, and payments, and you can watch those through these links, okay? All right, so as we mentioned earlier, we do have our welcome drivers. The welcome drivers are students, international students, just like you, that are ready to help you when you arrive to Mankato, okay? They can pick you up at the shuttle drop-off at MSU, and from there, they can bring you to your apartment or to your hotel with all of your luggage. I know sometimes you have to bring lots of stuff with you. So just know that we do have them available to help you transport those items. They can also help you go to the grocery store, help you get, and they can pick you up afterwards. They can take you to the bank to get your bank account open, etc. So they're not working 24 hours a day though, however. So keep in mind their schedule. This is the schedule right here. And again, all of this is in your international portal. Okay, you just have to just scroll down and read a little bit, but it's all there. This week through August 18th, so through Sunday, They will be driving from 10 a.m. through midnight. And then during orientation week, they will drive 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Okay. So well after orientation day is over, they are still driving. So be sure to take advantage of this service that only happens during orientation. This is the phone number that you can reach them at. You can text them through WhatsApp, you can call them, and they're ready to help. Okay. Another option to getting around Mankato is to take the bus. Okay. When you arrive to MSU, one of the things that probably one of the first IDs that you're gonna get while you're at MSU is your math card. Your math card is your student ID, okay, that you will then get on campus. You'll go get your picture taken and they'll print you your math card. With this math card, you can ride the Mankato area buses free of charge, which is a really big perk. I think of being a student here, you can really ride the bus for free. Here's again another link so you can see all of the routes that the city of Mankato buses offer. You can really get almost anywhere in Mankato with the bus. So if the welcome drivers are not available or throughout the semester, this is likely how you are going to get around town, is by using the bus. So it's going to be really important that when you arrive, you get your math card and that you do not lose your math card, okay? Because you will need it for a lot of different things. Again, we talked about housing, that we had a webinar about it. But be sure if you are living on campus that you are reading all of the information that is coming to you from Residential Life. They have been sending out communication about, how to let them know that you're arriving early, etc. Okay. If you are living off campus, also be sure that you are in contact with your landlord or your potential roommates so you understand all of the requirements. Okay. Once again, kind of talking a little bit about that math card. Okay, it is your university ID, your identification card. And really you can do lots of things with the math card. One, like we mentioned, you can ride the bus, but you can also check out different things at MSU with your math card. You can use it to check out items from the library. You can use it to, if you arrive to orientation on Monday or Tuesday, we will load what it's called dining dollars into your math card, so you can use that to pay for food. It's a really great form of ID to have with you. Okay, so be sure when you arrive that if you arrive before orientation, go get your math card. If you arrive right on time for orientation, our peer mentors can help you to get your math card in the same building where orientation will be held. Okay, so be sure that you carry it everywhere you go. As we keep scrolling down on our international portal, here we have lots of important info on what can you expect during orientation. Once again, orientation begins on Monday, August 19th, and you have to arrive preferably by August 19th, but no later than August 20th. Okay, so you are ready to attend orientation and ready to attend your first day of classes on August 26th. Okay. As it's stated here, if you cannot arrive to Mankato by August 20th, but you still want to study at MSU, that is okay. You just have to defer your application to spring 2025, and you have to submit a defer attendance request. Just follow the instructions here, and you can certainly defer your application to spring semester if you are not going to be able to be here a week from today, August 20th. Okay. We cannot stress enough how important international student orientation is. It is required, it is mandatory, so you cannot skip it. Okay. It is very important that you attend orientation. You will check in for orientation at the Centennial Student Union. Sometimes you will see that we shorten Centennial Student Union to CSU. So when we say CSU, that's what we mean, the Centennial Student Union. And we are going to be in the Centennial Student Union rooms 253, 254, and 255. On Monday, August 19th or Tuesday, August 20th, you can check in anytime between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Okay, local time, local Mankato time. Okay. Check-in is gonna take a little bit of time. Sometimes it does. We have to do a lot of things to make sure that you're checked in for immigration purposes. And it can take anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half. It really just depends on how many students show up at the same time. Okay. But the bottom line is we want you here either Monday, August 19th or Tuesday, August 20th between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. to do your check-in, okay? When you come to do your check-in, make sure that you have your passport with you. In your passport, you should also have your F1 visa stamp, so make sure that you're bringing that with you. Make sure that you bring your I-94 either printed or you can have it saved as a PDF on your phone. There's a very easy way to retrieve your I-94 if you follow this link to the I-94 webpage. We cannot do your check-in unless you have your I-94 ready to go. So in order to make sure your check-in goes smooth and it goes quicker, be sure that you have your I-94 ready. Otherwise, it is going to take longer because you're going to have to do it while you're trying to check in, which is really going to slow things down. So our advice is make sure you have your I-94 printed already or saved as a PDF on your phone or your laptop, okay? The third thing that you will need to bring to check in with you is your I-20. Make sure that your I-20 is printed and signed, okay? So again, those are the three things that you need for check-in: your passport, your I-94, and your I-20 printed and signed, all right? During orientation check-in, then we're gonna also talk a little bit more about the specifics for each week, for the week and for every day, but check-in is a really, really important piece of orientation. If you don't check in with us, we don't know that you are in the United States already. And what's going to happen is then we are going to assume that you did not come and we're going to terminate your record. You don't want that to happen. So this is why it is very important that you check in again, either on Monday between 10 and 3 or Tuesday between 10 and 3. Okay, I'm going to stop there for just a minute. Does anyone have any questions? We have given you, in the short 20 minutes that we've been together, a lot of information. So I'm just going to give a minute. Put your question in the chat if you do have any for what we discussed so far, and then we can move on to the next piece. While we wait for those chats, I'm gonna just grab some water quick, but I can hear you all.
I do see some questions here. Okay. We have 3. The first question is, I'll wait for you to come back, Paulina. Take a break.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here. I just have to go get a little water.
The first question is, do we need to pay for the insurance before orientation?
That's a good question. You can, but you don't have to pay it before you check in. You have to pay for the insurance before you can register. Registration will happen the Thursday of orientation. So we advise that Monday or Tuesday when you're checking in, I think it's just good practice to just go pay for your insurance. That way you are ready to go for your Thursday registration session.
This next question is more so about online only programs, but the question is, for online only programs, is orientation still mandatory? If so, what is the process?
So I assume you are not coming to MSU to be in person. So that we'll just have to follow up with you separately, because this is really pertains to those folks who are going to be present in Minnesota for their semester for in-person classes.
For our students watching us on YouTube as well, you can definitely leave the questions in the chat and I can have Paulina answer those if I'm not aware of the answers. So if you're watching this on YouTube, the chat's still open. So feel free to just put your questions in the chat. I know some of the students that are watching on Zoom have raised their hands. If you could leave your questions, whatever questions you have in the chat instead, that would be amazing. Kevin, I see that you've raised your hand, but if you could put your question in the chat instead, that's going to be a lot easier. There's a lot of other people that are raising their hands. So if you have questions, leave it in the chat and we'll get to them as soon as we're able to. Thank you. I think those are, yeah, I think you can continue.
All right, perfect. So we're gonna move on. Just kind of as a side note, some of these pictures that you will see in your international portal, most of those have been taken during orientation week. So orientation week, it's not just about lots of information, but it's also about starting to make those friendships, really starting to get to know the campus and really doing fun stuff. So you really don't want to miss a lot of the events and activities that we have prepared for orientation. But anyway, as we scroll down to the technology support, we do have a lot of ways that you can get assistance in making sure that the technology that you have is working, or if you do have any other issues with perhaps your Star ID is not working when you get here, or you can't access your math mail, or a myriad of other situations. We do have really great technology sessions. They're the Introduction to MSU Technology. These are going to be offered during orientation week, okay? And it is so important that you attend one of these sessions. The sessions are about 20 to 30 minutes long. They're not super long, but they do introduce you to the online learning platform at MSU that is called D2L, okay? It's going to introduce you to e-services. It's really going to introduce you to Math Connect, to all of the different platforms that you will need to be pretty proficient in order to be successful at MSU. What we notice happen once the semester has started, there's sometimes students that reach out and say, hey, I don't know how to use D2L. I don't know how to schedule an appointment with you. And my first question is, did you attend a technology session during orientation? And 99% of the time, the answer is no, I didn't. So this is why you're in that boat. It's going to be so important that you attend those sessions, because a lot of those questions that you might have on that first week of the semester, you're going to get those answers even before you have the questions through the MSU Tech sessions. So make sure that you attend these. You just need to go to one throughout orientation. And again, the peer mentors will be able to help you get to these sessions, okay? Throughout the year, IT Solutions also has a help desk that is located in the basement of the Centennial Student Union of the CSU. And again, this help desk can really help you figure out like if you need to reset your password, if maybe your computer is not connecting to the Wi-Fi, or any kind of tech issues that you might be having. The IT help desk, they're really great. It's usually staffed by a lot of students, and they're great to work with. They really know how to troubleshoot a lot of just the everyday tech issues that come up. So just know that that is always available to you throughout the semester, Monday through Friday, 10 to 4 in the basement of the CSU. Okay. All right, so now that that's out of the way, let's really move on to the orientation schedule, okay? Again, we mentioned that it is Monday through Friday, and you have all of the days listed here, okay? So you will have that orientation schedule at your fingertips if you have your international portal on your phone. Makes it very easy to know what is happening during orientation, where you need to be, because it is all going to be in your international portal. Okay. So again, first and foremost, most important thing of Monday is your check-in. Okay. And again, this is going to happen in CSU 254, 250, 255. Okay. Monday from 10 to 3. If you need to take placement testing, okay, and if you haven't done so yet, you can do that in person during orientation on Monday between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. in Wissing Hall 125 and 125A. Again, peer mentors can help you get there. So don't be super concerned if you don't know where a lot of these rooms or buildings are. Just arrive to the CSU and our student peer mentors will help you get to where you need to go, okay? We're also going to be doing campus tours depending on your major, okay? We will announce that a little bit during orientation, during the check-in process. We'll announce what major is going, what time their campus tour is at. But this is really going to be very helpful. So you are prepared for your first week of the semester, so you know where you have to be. All right. And as a kind of great welcome to MSU, between 4 and 6 p.m. that very first day on Monday, we are going to have a game night with free pizza for everybody. And that's going to be in the it's called the flexible programming space, and that's in the basement of the CSU. Okay. So you will notice that most of the activities that you will be doing during orientation all take place in the CSU, or they start in the CSU. So that's always a really great place to go if you're not sure where you're supposed to be at. Just come to the CSU, and from there, we can help you find where you have to be. This game night, this is, I think, the 3rd or 4th semester that we've done that. And it is so fun, so successful. We have lots of prizes. Everyone ends up, meeting lots of new friends, having a good laugh, having pizza. So be sure that you participate in that Monday night activity. Okay. Tuesday, again, if you did not check in on Monday, then you need to check in on Tuesday. However, if you checked in on Monday, there's no need for you to recheck on Tuesday. So you only need to check in once. But again, if you did not check in on Monday, be sure that you check in on Tuesday. If on Monday, perhaps you ran out of time to do your placement testing, make sure that you take your placement testing on Tuesday. If you did not have time to do a campus tour on Monday, be sure to do it on Tuesday. Or if you want to do it again because you have more questions, you can join the campus tour for a second time. That is not a big deal, okay? For those of you who perhaps did all of your check-in on Monday, And on Tuesday, you're kind of like, well, I feel like I got most everything done. What can I do? We are going to be offering um, some optional sessions, okay, in the afternoon on Tuesday. The only time, if you know whether something is optional or not, it will say optional. If it doesn't say optional, that means it's mandatory for you to be there, okay? So these sessions in the afternoon, as you can tell, they do say optional behind the title. So if you wish to join us, you certainly can. If you are busy opening your bank account or paying for your health insurance, getting your math card, you can certainly do that instead. But just know that there are these optional sessions that you can join us for, and they are all in the CSU 245. So it's going to be very close to the room where you checked in. Okay, but we'll have signs. There will be peer mentors there guiding you. But some of those optional sessions are on the work permit. I know a lot of students are really excited to be able to work on campus. And this session will kind of tell you a little bit about what that process looks like. We're also going to talk about enrollment. What does enrolling in classes look like at MSU Mankato? During registration, you will hear a lot of words like credits and GPAs, etc. So all of that will be answered ahead of time on Tuesday during this session. So it might be a nice idea for you to attend that, okay? We are also going to have a session about scholarships, so you can learn what scholarships are available, potentially available to you as an international student. And lastly, this is the first time that we are offering this session, and we are really excited about it. It's things to do in Mankato. A lot of times I think when you arrive to a new city, to a new town, you really maybe are not sure what is there to do. Perhaps some of you are coming from just really big cities, and you suddenly find yourself in a small city of 50,000 people, and you're like, is there anything to do in Mankato? And so this session hopefully will help answer some of those questions. It will showcase some of the fun things to do in your new home during different seasons. So I think that's kind of a really fun one to attend. So just kind of keep all of these optional sessions in the back of your mind, okay? Lastly, we have another evening activity on Tuesday from 4 to 6. We are going to do some outdoor games and activities in the performing arts lawn. That is kind of outside of the CSU. That we're going to have a big awning, so you will be able to see where we are located. But we're going to have the volleyball nets ready, badminton, some soccer. Those of you like me who are just not big into sports, we also have other activities that you can participate in. And again, just a really great way to start building those networks, start making connections with other students who, like you, are new. It's really important to really start establishing a lot of those friendships early on in the semester, so you have a good support network as the semester progresses, okay? So we do encourage you to attend all of these really fun activities that we have for in the evenings, okay? Wednesday is probably one of my most favorite days of orientation. I will admit it's a really long day, but nonetheless, it really is very fun. So very important that you attend the mandatory advising sessions with your academic advisors at 10 a.m. Okay, so at 10 a.m., you're going to meet in the CSU ballroom. And from there, we will help you get to your academic advisor, depending on what your major is. So you don't need to worry about that piece. You just be sure that you are in the ballroom by 10 a.m. From there, the peer mentors and myself will help you get to the right place. These advising sessions are very, very important because you will connect with your academic advisor who will help you determine, based on your major, what classes you need to take. I know sometimes we have friends or we have relatives that, they have the best of intentions and tell us what classes we should be enrolling in. No, thank you. You need to follow the advice of an actual academic advisor, because what happens is if you just take the advice of your friend, you might end up taking classes that you did not need. You certainly don't want to pay for classes that you did not need to complete your degree. So this is where the academic advisors really come in. They are all very excited to meet all of you. So be sure that you are in the ballroom at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Once again, placement testing continues. So if you do have not done your placement testing, you can do that on Wednesday, but I strongly advise that you get that done on Monday or Tuesday, because Wednesday, you're really not going to have a lot of time to do it. Okay. Now, starting at noon, you have to be, once again, back in the ballroom. You will be done with your advising sessions. And from there, you are going to come to the ballroom for our welcome lunch. This is where all of the students come together. All of the KIC staff will be there, and a lot of different faculty members that we have invited to welcome you to MSU Mankato. The president of MSU will be there to give you a welcome. The dean for global education will be there. And again, everybody is just excited to meet you all. The welcome lunch, we have just great, great food for everybody that day. So we will eat lunch together, all 400 of us. And then after that, we're going to stay in the ballroom and we are going to have mandatory sessions that you have to stay for between 1 and 3 in the afternoon. So we're going to talk about immigration regulations. We're going to talk about campus safety, student activities, how to be engaged while you're on campus. And what's really fun about the welcome lunch is that even though the sessions, they're kind of back to back to back, we break them up with different games. We call them minute to win it, and it's just a really good time. Everyone laughs. It's just a fun afternoon. So make sure that on Tuesday night you get a good night's sleep so you can come on Wednesday rested and ready to tackle the long day ahead. Okay. Then on Thursday, I think is the day that all of the new students just really look forward to this day because it's the big registration day. This is the day where you get to register for classes. So it's going to be very important that you arrive, depending on what category you fall into, that's the time that you're going to register. So if you are a transfer student or an exchange student, you are going to meet us at 8:30 in CSU 254-255. If you are a first year student, you will meet us at 1 p.m. CSU 254-255. And from there, we will help you get to the right place so you can register. Okay. Again, very important that you get there on time because registration takes time. It is, it's just it's a process, especially if it's your very first time registering at MSU Mankato. It will take a minute to get the hang of it. So make sure that you arrive on time, either 8:30 or 1 p.m. Once you come to your check-in on Monday, we will give you your check-in sheet, and on the sheet it will say what time you register at. So don't worry about thinking, do I register at 8:30? Do I register at 1? You don't have to figure it out. We'll figure it out for you. It will be on your check-in sheet that you will receive on Monday. Okay. at 6 p.m., which you really can't see it here real well, but it's at 6 p.m., 6 to 8 there. If I highlight it, you can see it. The International Student Association, the ISA, hosts every year a welcome event. And it is so fun. A lot of the pictures on your portal were taken during the welcome event. And this happens in CSU 264, which is the ISA office, the ISA room. The International Student Association is a student organization built of just international students. They put on lots of really fun events and workshops throughout the year. And this welcome event is always just a big highlight for them. They really, really enjoy putting it together. So make sure that you come to that. And from there, everybody's gonna go together to Club Maverick. Okay. Club Maverick is an event that is put on by the university. It's for everybody, international and domestic students. And it's kind of like a nightclub. They have a DJ, they have lights, there's lots of dancing and music. It's super fun. So be sure to attend that as well. Okay. One thing that I noticed that we don't have on our schedule, but it is happening, is our resource fair on Thursday between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. and the main level of the CSU that we call the MAV-AV. Different student organizations and campus departments are going to be there just with information. They're going to have a table and they'll have flyers for you, etc. So be sure that you walk around MAV-AV between 11 and 1. I think you will get to know a lot of different campus organizations if you go there. Okay. Lastly, Friday, kind of our second to last day. Once again, placement testing continues if you still need to do that. But something that is a really big Maverick tradition that we want you to be a part of is the new student rally and the backyard bash. Okay. The new student rally, the MSU marching band will be there. The president gives a speech. This international students give words of welcome to new students. So it's really a great thing to do. So it's meant for first year students. So again, it's just for the new students. It's really a great Maverick tradition, so you don't want to miss that. We're going to meet outside of our office of the Kearney International Center at 10:20, and from there we'll help you get to the new student rally. Lastly, we will be offering campus tours. Remember, you are registering on Thursday. So on Friday, come to the KIC starting at noon with your schedule, and our peer mentors will help you get to your classes. So you're kind of ready to go for next week, for the beginning of the semester. I think it's a really great opportunity to be able to kind of maybe calm those jitters that you might have for your first week of classes by going to all of your classrooms the Friday before. So certainly take advantage of that. They'll help you get there. Okay. And lastly, MSU puts on lots of welcome week events throughout this first week. So check out their schedule. There's free ice skating. There's free bowling, billiards, bingo, dancing. There's lots of really, really fun things happening this whole first week and that whole first weekend. So check out their events here. And lastly, we do have what it's called the furniture giveaway. This is really geared once again towards all of you brand new students who maybe are living in an apartment for the first time by yourself, away from mom and dad. This is an event where you can come get free furniture for your apartment. So make sure that you show up between 10 a.m. and noon in the MSU Orange parking lot. And they can, not only can you get some free furniture, but there are volunteers there that can help you get the furniture to your apartment. So for example, if you get a couch, don't worry on how am I going to get this couch to my apartment now. There's people there that will have cars that can help get it to your apartment. So we have been collecting furniture in this giant storage room that we have, and that storage room is full. I stopped by on Monday to drop off one more thing, and it's just giant pile of furniture. There's so much stuff to give away. So you don't want to miss that. Okay. Okay, so I will kind of stop talking. We still have about 10 minutes, 12 minutes left. So this is a really great time to ask questions, put it all in the chat, and we can answer those questions for you before you arrive to MSU on Monday.
We have some questions, so I can start kind of going through them with you.
Okay.
As a graduate student, is check-in still Monday and Tuesday?
Very good question. Yes. So, grad students have the option, only the grad students, of either checking in Monday or Tuesday, or you can certainly wait until Wednesday to check in. We will have check-in for graduate students only Wednesday morning before you move on to your afternoon sessions. Grad student programming looks a little bit different, of course. But again, grad students should be able to see their specific orientation schedule in their international portal. So what I'm showing right now on this international portal, it's really what most new undergraduate students will see. If you are a grad student joining us on this call, yours might look a little bit different because you are a grad student. So your schedule is just a tad different, where most of your orientation will happen on Wednesday. So great question. As a grad student, you have the option of checking in Monday or Tuesday, but you can wait to check in Wednesday right before your orientation begins. I think you're muted, Pizza.
Yeah,
There you
thank
go.
you. If I pay the orientation fee of $75, will I be able to attend all orientation days from the 19th through the 24th?
You can, yes. And the orientation fee, those who have to pay a little bit less is because of the transfer, the online transfer fee. But yes, I do believe you can still attend the Monday through Saturday events. Absolutely. Yes.
Someone tried to get their I-94, but they couldn't get it. There was a message that said no record found for traveler. How can I get it?
Correct. So that's a great question. You will not be able to get your I-94 until you are in the United States, because the I-94 will show your entry into the US. So if you haven't entered the United States, it will show that there's no record of you yet. But once you enter, then you'll be able to get your I-94, because that's the record of your entry into the country. So be sure to download it once you are in the US. Good question.
Someone asked, what is placement testing?
What is placement testing? Good question. Placement testing, some of you might have to do placement testing, not everybody, but it essentially is a test that you can choose to take before you arrive or here once you get here to MSU, and it will test your English and your math. So that way, when you go to register, your academic advisors know what level of math they should place you in what class, and what level of English you should be placed in. So that's why placement testing is so important. So when you register, we know that you are placed at the right level. If you, for example, score really high in your placement testing for math, for example, then we want to make sure that you are placed in the appropriate level of math. Or if you did not place real well, like I remember I didn't do real well in my math placement testing because I'm not a math person. Thankfully, that was reflected on the placement testing. So then I was placed at the lower level of math. So then you're successful in your semester.
Me too. Actually, I did not place well on the math either, so I got
Boo.
placed on the lowest.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
second,
fine.
which was
That's fine.
good. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you don't wanna be placed in a higher level of math and then fail the class because you
Mm-hmm.
don't have the knowledge yet. So
Yeah.
this is why placement testing is so important.
Really good questions, guys. When
Yes.
will the dining halls open if we were to check in early arrival?
Yeah, so if you are early arrival and you live on campus and you have notified Residential Life that you will be here, the dining hall is already open for you. Dining hall open for early arrivals on August 10th. We are offering the KIC is paying for those meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner most days. And then dining hall fully opens on Thursday, August 22nd for dinner.
Lots of questions. I'm like sifting through them.
Okay.
For people that have questions about their I-20, please email international@mnsu.edu. We are not able to answer those questions at this time. I will put that in the chat, the email that you're supposed to email, so that you can email that there. But we are only talking about orientation and your travels to Mankato right now. So if you have questions about your I-20 or anything like that, email us and we'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you for your patience. Someone says they currently work as an RN and I already have health insurance with the hospital that I am working with. Do I still need to pay for the international student insurance?
Yeah, so unfortunately, if you are here on an F1 visa, you have to pay the international health insurance. This is not a rule from MSU, but it's a Minnesota state system rule. So everybody has to pay that health insurance if they are an F1 student, even if you have other insurance already.
How and when do I pay for tuition?
We're going to talk a little bit
Mhm.
more about that during the first few weeks of the semester. But once you register, you will see that tuition charge in your account. So you can certainly start paying for it right away. And there are some deadlines to keep in mind that we will talk about during KSB. I really don't have those at the top of my head right now.
Yeah, the only thing I would put into consideration at the moment is your student health insurance, which is what you'll have to pay during orientation. So
Yes.
just keep that in mind, and then you can think about your tuition and fees once they're reflected on your account. But the one thing that you do have to pay for during orientation week is your student health insurance. So make sure you have those funds for sure, because you will not be able to register for your classes if you don't pay for that. So just keep that in mind.
Yes.
Um, as a transfer student from a college in the USA, do we still need to take the placement test?
That will be determined when you check in.
Mhm.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think that will be in your check-in form. It'll say whether you need to or not. So I truly can't answer that question, to be super honest.
Someone else said, where should I go if I want to change courses I registered for in advance? Honestly, when you're here for orientation, you can talk to your academic advisor at the time and then change the classes. It's really hard for us to give academic advising because we're not academic advisors. We do not want to tell you what classes to take and what not to take. I would leave that for your academic advisor when you meet them.
Yeah.
Um,
I
Do
see
international?
one that says, sorry, PJ, that says,
Yeah,
is
go
there
for
a
it.
group chat for grad students or
Mhm.
international students? I love that question. During grad student orientation, we always create a WhatsApp group. So you will be able to join it at that time. So yeah, great, great, great question.
Mhm. Someone asked for the student profile preview site. I'm assuming that's the one that you're on, Paulina, right now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Check your email. This information should have been sent to you in your email, and you should have the logins and you should be able to get into this website. So check your email.
Yes. When you log into your international portal, it should be the first thing that pops up for you during number one orientation updates. Yeah.
Mhm. Do international students need to pay an orientation fee? I think this will be the last question.
Yes, the orientation fee will just be added to your account after you check in, but you will see an orientation fee in your account, correct, of $150.
Thank
Placement testing is not done for master students.
Mhm.
No, placement testing is only for undergraduate students, and not every undergraduate student needs placement testing. Um, again, that is determined by the university, and you will have it will say on your check-in sheet um, whether you need placement testing or not.
As a transfer
Um,
undergraduate student, can I attend the orientation on Tuesday, not on Monday?
Correct. Yep. Remember, you can check in either on Monday or Tuesday. If you prefer to wait until Tuesday, because then you can attend all the sessions, those optional sessions on Tuesdays, certainly that is fine. But you are also
Someone,
welcome on Monday night to come to the game night and pizza. So
yeah,
be
you should
sure,
definitely go. It'll be
it's so
really
fun.
fun. Yeah,
It's
you'll
a
get
good
to meet
giggle.
other students. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just checking our YouTube at the moment and seeing if there's any questions. Someone asked a question about part-time jobs. That information will be given to you during orientation week. We will not be able to answer that because it's going to be a very long, winded conversation if we do that. So, but I know that we've done sessions in the past that's recorded and it's on our YouTube if you want to go and look at our older lives sessions.
Mhm.
Do you see any other questions, Paulina?
No, I think that's it. I'm sorry we were not able to get to all of them. But thank you all for attending. I think a lot of your questions will slowly start making sense during orientation.
Mhm.
So be sure that you are ready to go by Monday, Tuesday at the latest. I'm excited to see and meet all of you next week. As is PJ, we'll both be of course, ready to welcome you along with everyone else at the KIC next week.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us today, guys. We are so excited to see you. I'm very, very, very excited to get to know everybody. I hope you guys have very safe travels. Get here safe. Make sure
Yeah,
you're
safe
prepped.
travels.
Safe travels, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for joining.